in the red trunks. And we're underway now. This scheduled 10-round middleweight bout. Marvin Hagler hoping to get that title opportunity again. He's trying to leave the Antifermo draw. Hagler 5'9½". Amani 5'9¼ Throwing too many punches as they get a good look at each other.
Amani so far is moving strictly to his left, which is really the way to fight a southpaw, especially a southpaw like Hagler. It's a punishing puncher. He
says he feels some of the tradition in his bones of the late great Marcel Cerdan. He trained in a gym where Cerdan trained and saw the posters.
Good right hook by Hagler, Tim. Good right hook. Missed that one. Amani is slipping punches and he's not countering, Tim.
Good straight right from Hagler.
He's hurt. Amani is hurt.
It really rocked him. Another right hand. He's got him in trouble. He's on the ropes and that's it. Amani knocked right through these very loose ropes into the press row. As Hagler with a good short straight right. That was a damaging punch. Amani receiving attention. He's apparently all right.
Straight right jab hurt him. That's how powerful Hagler was. He hurt him with a jab. And there's a right hook behind it. And here's those ropes, those loose ropes. That didn't help.
We've been watching these ropes during the preliminaries today and have been critical of them. They were not anchored tightly enough. And here's an example of what can happen. There's no support from those ropes. He takes a left and a right. And he's
on the line. Marvin Hagler defending against Caveman Lee, a consolidation of the rules between the WBA and the WBC. The champion is a left-hander. Lee can go both ways. And the indication to us from the Lee camp was that he would try to come strong and try at the very beginning to upset the tempo of the champion. And he just scored with a good left hook to the side of the head of Marvin Hagler here in the early going. Stiff right hand by Hagler. Hard left hand. Lee goes down, face down on the canvas. It was a left and a right and a left, and Lee's in trouble. Hazard takes a look at him. Lee says he's all right. He doesn't look it. He's wobbly. He's in trouble. A right hand, a left hook to the side of the head. And he is in serious trouble. A left hook to the jaw. Lee can barely stand. Another right hand by Hagler. Back into the ropes he goes. Caveman Lee here in the opening round. Hagler said he didn't want it to go very long, and it's not going to go very long. It is over. Lee sags against the ropes. He's out of it. Marvin Hagler has knocked him out with 1:53 to go in the first round, and a crowd of people come storming into the ring. The champion laced him with a hard right hand. Then he lunged across the ring and he ripped him with a right and another left, and from that point on Lee was never to shake it. He went down on his face, got up, but it was obvious that he was terribly unsteady. Larry Hazard let it go. Another angle of the first knockdown. You can see the lunge across the ring by the champion Hagler, and that left hook. You see the hard right hand. And this is the finish right here. Here's the end of the fight coming up, because at this juncture, Lee did not really know where he was. Hagler had him stunned from the first knockdown, and at this point, it was a matter of when he was going to go. And under the fusillade of punches delivered by Marvin Hagler, Lee sags down against the ropes, and the referee, Larry Hazard, will step in to stop it before the man is injured. You can see that the will to fight in Caveman Lee's case is gone right here. He is looking for some place to hide, literally to regain his senses, but there is no place to go as Hagler pursued him across the ring. Caveman Lee, and he is lifted onto the shoulders of the Petronelli brothers, Goody and Pat. A devastating performance by a man who has been particularly effective since he got his first title opportunity.
Staring at each other through the national anthem. A stare down, of course, so customary before these fights. And here we go, round one. Hagler, right off the bat, attempting to get inside. He'd love to be able to pin Hearns on the ropes if he can.
A more aggressive start by Hagler. Look at him, right for the body. Marvin Hagler only wants the body, and he bangs Marvin. Oh, Hearns may have hurt him with a right hand.
Hearns with another right. Hearns hits him with an uppercut. Hagler is hurt. Hagler is stunned. Hearns got inside. So it was Hagler coming out like a bullet. A good left by Hagler, but Hearns didn't flinch. Marvin going for the body. Wild first round.
Wow, what a shock. And it was Hagler who initiated it, not Thomas Hearns.
On a left by Hagler. Hearns comes back. Another right. That one stunned Hearns.
Tommy Hearns has been able to drop that right hand in, and it has hurt Hagler, a surprise to many people.
Another right hand from Hearns. Hagler still pursuing, comes in with a right, missing with a left hook.
Here's where I believe Hagler should turn to righty. He could block that right hand easier, and he would land his own left hook.
Swelling near Hagler's left eye. Again, Tommy trying to come inside the hands of Hagler.
Low blow by Hearns. Hagler still looking for the body.
A right by Hagler. Good right got in. He has Hearns where he'd love to keep him on the ropes, but Tommy comes off easily. Another good right by Hearns.
Hagler is now shaking those right hands off, though, Al. He was stunned a little early, and he's normally a slow starter.
He's also bleeding. Hagler is cut. Hagler is cut. Bridge of the nose.
He is taking shots to the head.
He blocks that right. Hearns tries to come in with the uppercut, and Hagler ties him up with a minute to go. Marvin with a good left hand.
There's blood all over Marvin Hagler's face. Can't tell where it's coming from.
I thought it started from the bridge of the nose originally, but blood all over the face of Hagler here in round one. But Hagler has him on the ropes. Hagler working on him. Hagler relentless, but Hearns trying to box his way out. Half a minute to go in round one. How far can this one go? Not very far at this pace.
This is where Hagler wants him, but Hearns counterpunching off those ropes fairly effectively.
Tremendous first round. Hagler pinning him to the ropes, working on him, but Hearns uppercutting again. Hagler bloody. A tremendous, sensational first round as Hearns gets hurt. Hearns got stunned. Hagler was stunned early in the round. Great first round.
Wow.
Incredible. Well, the first round lived up to all the hype, and then some. Round two now.
Oh.
The club. Left hand by Hagler. A wild first round. Hearns again trying to uppercut. Hearns trying to box. Moving, slipping off the ropes. Coming back and trying to land that right.
They are yelling, keep boxing, Tommy, from his corner, and that looks like what he's going to try and do in this fight.
For the first time, Hagler switching, gets in with a left hand. This round sort of the way people anticipated the first round might go. Another right hand stuns Hearns. Has been able to get into Hearns more so than I think most people expected.
For one simple reason, good left hook by Hagler. He took the best Hearns could offer, and he did come in. He's getting through that right hand. Hagler has fought most of this round as a righty. Now he switches southpaw and lands. Not as effective as a righty as I thought, but now as a southpaw, the jab lands well. Boy, Hearns looks awkward, and his legs look like they're not there.
A little rubbery here in round two. Tommy, though, fluid and moving. Trying to get inside. Again, the cut opens up over Hagler's forehead. And the blood begins to trickle down. Hagler working inside, now up top. Half a minute to go in round two.
What a left.
Hearns trading with him. Hagler comes back to the right or left, and another right. Hagler wants to keep him there, goes to the body.
Hagler throws low blows. Marvin Hagler wants to turn this into an alley war, and he's done it. Another low blow. Richard Steele may take points away soon, but will it matter?
Second round coming to an end. Hagler bloody, but very much unbowed.
Well, he turns righty. He wants it to be a street fight. Listen, Marvin Hagler has been rough inside. He's thrown some low blows. He has thrown some elbows.
Don't push.
But you know what? Now the right is getting there, but it's not hurting Hagler. We've got our answer, I think, to some extent. And now, just as we thought might happen, Tommy Hearns was hurt early, so he is boxing. Now, he has good boxing skills. He did this against Sugar Ray.
As he again becomes off balance, some thought that if Hearns stayed outside and stayed on his bicycle, it would become a dull fight with Marvin chasing him. Hagler with a wild left hand. It has to be impeding his vision with the right eye. You never know it, though. Tremendous right.
Hearns is smiling, but he's taking shots.
Another right hand. Hearns turns his back, takes another right. Hearns in deep trouble again. Hearns is down. Hearns is down in the third round and on his back. And he's not going to beat the count. I don't believe. Tommy Hearns tries to get up and
They've got to stop this fight.
Does he get up? He just doesn't know. He can't continue. Different angle again now. Right hand from Hagler. And Hearns at that point finished. Off balance and stumbling. And so the man from Brockton, Massachusetts may finally get the respect that he feels he deserves. And Tommy, of course, very disappointed and frustrated as Marvin Hagler, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, the legal name, retains the undisputed.
He is the underdog both by the odds makers and by the crowd here.
Now we get to the meaningful initials, Barry, F-I-T-E, fight.
You're R-I-T-E about that. This is the first round. We'll go 15. Remember, Marvin Hagler coming off that knee injury, so that is something to watch. He said it affected his lateral movement. He told me yesterday it is not affecting it any longer. It was not a muscle tear that Hagler had in the knee, but just an inflammation caused simply by training too much, too hard. Combination by Scypion.
But he is coming out fast here.
Scipion's punches being caught mostly on the shoulders of Marvin Hagler. Hagler did score with an uppercut in that exchange.
That Scypion wants to pressure him as Hamsho did earlier, and of course Vito went to front.
And there go the legs of Scypion in round one. Hagler is right on top of him, measuring his man. It was a right hand that set him up.
Scypion is trying to cut the ring off, not having much success.
Combinations by Hagler hurt Scypion once more. And again, the right hand getting through. It was a right hand lead. And Hagler's really opening him up.
This is a very up-tempo pace for Hagler this early in the fight.
Counter-punching right hand by Hagler. A combination by Hagler. The left hand by Marvin Hagler backs Scypion off once more.
Scypion holding his guard very high. Hagler trying to bring it down. Shots to the body. A
left hand by Scypion that did get in but did no damage, and takes two right hands from Hagler and another right. And a left hand. And Scypion is in the center of the ring and just trying to cover up.
Let's take an overhead view of Marvin Hagler at work. A left high on the head, a left a little bit lower on the jaw, and a left through Scipion's guard.
Hagler peppering him with combinations. No one punch really doing a lot of damage, but it's a cumulative effect.
All right, come on, let him go, Marvin. Let him go. Come on, Will. Let him out.
Hagler's knee showing absolutely no effect on his lateral movement.
Keep punching now, keep punching, let's go.
Beautiful uppercut. He's beginning to time Scypion very well and finding it hard to miss right now. Marvin Hagler getting $1.25 million for this night's work.
Scypion took a good right hand. It stunned him for a moment.
Come on, let him go, Will. Stop hanging on him, Will. Stop hanging on him. Let's go.
right hand by Scypion. It did get in on the nose of Marvin Hagler.
Scypion is being persistent.
Whoa, watch them heads, both of you now.
Referee giving a bit of a warning, saying watch the heads. Marvin Hagler has gotten himself in trouble before with butts. Vito Antifermo fight, of course. He suffered a cut from a butt, and again, Scypion now managing to get on top of Hagler a little bit more than he was. And there he took a right hand. That buckled his knees. Scypion back in his own corner. Takes a combination, goes down. And may not make it up. This man has never been knocked out. And it's over. It is all over.
Let's take a look and see just how it came. There was a delayed action, and that last left hand I thought did it or finished him. He had been stunned a little bit earlier. It was the right hand that started him on the way, Barry. The right hand started him on the way. And the rest was just a professional job of finishing.
Knowing the man is hurt and taking advantage of it. Take a look from this great overhead shot given us by our director, Mark Payton.
Marvin has 2 belts, WBC belt, WBA belt.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by a knockout in the 4th round and still undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
He tired in the late going in his fight against Antifermo.
Round 1.
Bout is underway. Round 1. Minter, a southpaw. Hagler, a natural southpaw. You see Hagler with his own right lead, but with the ability to convert. The crowd roared as Minter scored with a quick left. With both hands. We have 55 seconds into round 1. Hagler scored. Hagler scored and scored again with a short chopping right that hurt Minter. Hagler trying to keep his distance, or rather Minter trying to keep his distance, trying to use the right jab to keep Hagler at bay. It's his first round action. You'll hear this British crowd roar with every exchange, particularly if one exchange favors Minter. Minter scored there. Briefly, Minter appeared hurt. 1 minute 5 seconds into the round from a short chopping Hagler right. But Minter, during the last half of this round, has been boxing effectively. A round that promises a good action fight. Hagler wanting to get in, to level the opponent with a superior punching power. Hagler fighting southpaw. Hagler with a good left and a right. Minter says, come on, fight! And Minter is leaving himself open with this tactic. Hagler scored with a good, quick combination. Blood pouring out of Minter's nose now, pouring out. Minter fighting feverishly, trying to get to Hagler and hurt him. The blood going into Minter's mouth. You saw him wipe off his nose just now with his glove. Mincher susceptible to cuts. Well, this one is a bloody nose. There may indeed be a cut under Mincher's left eye. 1:55 into round 2. Oh, a right leg scored against Mincher. Hagler looking very, very good. 35 seconds left in round 2. Mincher wants to mix it up, slug it out with Hagler. Which is exactly what Mincher is doing, and the crowd is responding. We are coming to the end of round 2. He had a big second round. Though Mincher is fighting back, or was determinedly. You see Hagler scoring well with his left, if he can make it work. Sometimes a fighter gets mixed up trying to change from one stance to another. 45 seconds into round 3. The Mincher nose bloodied in the second round. Blood gushing forth. Again the right lead, that's the second time. There are cuts under both Mincher eyes now. Hagler is fighting his fight and making it work. The mouthpiece out. Mincher's mouthpiece out. Mincher is hurt. Mincher is ready to go. It's only the third round and Hagler is all over him. Fighting without his mouthpiece now. Mincher has not been able to make his own fight. Now, the referee, Beresab, has the corner man. The fight stopped. It's over that quickly. The middleweight champion of the world is Marvin Hagler.
Point must system. A fighter cannot lose a round any worse than 10-7. 3 knockdown rule has been waived. Round 1 just underway here. Obelmejias in the dark trunks with the red stripes. He has 30 victories in a row. 28 of them have come by knockdown. The question, or a knockout rather, the question, of course, who has he fought? He has not fought anyone the likes of Marvin Hagler. Hagler yet to really unleash.
As I see it now, Barrett, both fighters carry potent punches with them.
Obel had great confidence coming into this fight. Although there was a lot of criticism in the Boston papers that since he came up to Boston from Venezuela, he had not been working out very hard. But I also remember that about Ingmar Johansson. Hand lead misses by Hagler. Hagler will switch hands. He's a natural left-hander, but he will switch hands, come around to the right side occasionally. Do that a lot against Antifermo. Hagler now pressing the attack just a little bit more to Obelmejias. Obel with a right hand that came up a little bit short. Wild left hand that time by Obel, and a right hand by... Not much damage done at all in that exchange. Right hand again, wild right hand by Obel, misses. Hagler comes back with a right and then a left that gets Obel up top of the head. Obel not at all awed, and if there's anything you could say, you got to say that. He has been calm from the moment he came into the ring. At the end of the first round, he was exhorting his fans to cheer, and they have. And even though this is Marvin Hagler's backyard, Obel has really got his share of support here in Boston. Wild left hand by Hagler goes over the head of Obel.
That was a beautiful right hand by
Hagler with the right hand there to the side of the head of Obel. And another combination, this time has Obel slowed up just a little bit. But Obel stays right in there, stays pretty close to Hagler as a matter of fact. And Obel returns with a jab to the cheek of Marvin Hagler. Left hand did score that time for Hagler. Combination that time by Obel. Hagler tries to counter with a left as we reach the end of the second round. Obel again wild with the left hand, takes a right hand to the nose, and Hagler comes back with a combination and misses. again with a quick combination, but none of them really doing any serious damage at all. In fact, only one of the 3 punches landing. Combination by Obel, both rather wild punches, and Obel ducks away from the right hand offered up by Marvin Hagler. Short right hand that time by Obel, did connect, but Hagler with a quick right hand over that short right. Fully Obel. Obel has been most effective when he's been able to get in close. There's a right hand that does catch Hagler up on the eyebrow, and Hagler comes right back with the right hand to the face of Obel. 2 good rights that time by Hagler, and that staggers Obel for just a moment, and another combination has Obel a little bit wobbly right now. Obel up against the ropes here as we are just over halfway through the 4th round. Another good right hand on the cheek of Fully Obel, and a left hand under the cheek. And another left gets into the nose, and Marvin Hagler now is really taking the fight to the challenge of Fully Obel, and Obel seems a little bit groggy and holding on somewhat. Obel has been hurt, there's no question about it. Another right hand sends it back into the ropes, and another right hand has Obel's legs wobbly once again. Obel tries to fight back with a right, but Hagler comes right back with a right and a left and another left and a right uppercut to the jaw. Obel just trying to weather the storm, does get a right hand in, but it has no sting on it. Hagler right back at him with a left to the jaw and a right to the head. And another left to the cheek by Hagler. Once again, Obel up against the ropes. The champion, Marvin Hagler, right on top of him. 20 seconds to go here in the 4th round. This round has been all the champion. Seems to have lost some zip. Another combination by Hagler against the ropes, right over all microphones here. And again, Hagler with a right and a left and another right. 2 seconds remaining in the round, and we have come to the end of round 4, a round that was clearly Marvin Hagler.
And here he's trying to get his head back together.
Another flicking jab by Hagler, and another one pushes Obel into the ropes once more, right over on microphone. Obel fights back, gets a couple of right hands in, and this time a left hand counter punch by Hagler sets Obel back on his heels again. Obel has been most effective when he is in close.
Fatigue. He's been knocking out so many fighters. He's never really been the distance, so this could be a factor in this fight here. And I think Marvin Hagler, he's aware of that.
As you mentioned here in the Boston papers recently, there's been a lot of criticism about Fully Obel. One of the quotes I read was, he says he runs 3 or 4 miles a day.
Well, there's a sign of desperation about Obel because he's just winging punches. He's not really conscious of where his punches are landing, and as we see it now, Hagler's very, very aggressive.
Obel really has no legs left right now, and it's just a question of time. Left hand right to the nose of Fully Obel, still on his feet though. Obel very rubber-legged in the center of the ring, backs up on the ropes now, and an uppercut catches Obel right under the chin, probably lifts him off the ground. Obel just about a helpless fighter right now, leaning in on Hagler. Hagler back with another left to the face and another left to the face. Combination misses, but a right hand stuns Obel again, and another right to the nose of Fully Obel. Obel stares blankly out at the crowd now, looking all a part of a beaten fighter. And an uppercut, 2 more left hands to the head. Obel is showing he can take a shot, and he has taken Hagler's best, but he is a tired and he is a beaten fighter. 5 seconds to go here in round 5, and he will get through this one.
It's enough, and whether he has the conditioning to survive.
Round 6 now, Hagler right on Fully Obel right at the start of this round. Obel, even standing in the center of the ring, was doing so on unsteady legs. The fight has been all Marvin Hagler for the last 2 rounds. In the corner directly above us, good right uppercut to the jaw of Fully Obel, and Obel remains on his feet. Another right overhand and another uppercut, and Obel backs away again, her and a left hand, and Obel is down. Right above us again. Hagler is stalking, a right and a left to the face, an uppercut misses. Hagler now goes to the body, and Hagler with another right and a left to the head of Obel, and Obel backs away again, trying to punch with the right hand, but he has nothing left. At least trying to get to the middle of the ring, very wobbly now. A left hand and a right to the cheek, and Obel is staggered once again. Another left and a right hand misses. Hagler seemingly 1 punch away from putting his man out. Obel gamely tries to fight back. Hagler is against the ropes now. And a left hand by Obel catches Hagler on the cheek but doesn't hurt him. 6 combination under the chin of Obel. And an uppercut catches Obel again. Some of the sting might have gone out of Hagler's punching here too.
So many shots, and it's a good thing he spent all that time there to get himself in this shape.
And Obel taking his best shots now, back up against the rope again. Referee Octavio Medon taking a close look at Fully Obel now. Obel on very wobbly legs, leaning on Marvin Hagler. Tries to fight out of him with a left hand, but they're really marshmallow punches now. Left hand by Hagler, pushes Obel against the ropes again. 2 quick rights to the nose, and Obel bounces off the ropes. How can this man be the #1 challenger when in fact he hasn't really fought anybody? He's been a very game fighter, and he's in there against maybe the best middleweight in the world and maybe the best middleweight in a long time. Bleeding rather heavily now from the mouth. Obel against the ropes, and Hagler pounds at him unmercifully once more. For 3 rounds now, the fight has belonged to Marvin Hagler, the champion.
This guy's incredible. Obel he's truly a determined fighter.
He's had something in that left hand too, and it just missed grazed Marvin Hagler's nose that time.
Look at this, he's coming on.
Obel has Hagler against the ropes now. Now Hagler gets out of there and figures enough of this nonsense, sticks a right hand and then a left to Obel's face.
Obel may be tired, but he still packs a punch.
Hagler with the right hand again, left hand right to the nose, backs Obel up, whistling right to the side of the head, and a left uppercut, and another left hand. And now Marvin Hagler is cut a little bit on the lip, although that doesn't seem to be anything that is too serious. Right overhand that time, on the side of the face of Obel, and another right hand. And Obel remains on his feet, fights back, puts Hagler against the ropes. Left hand of the body by Obel. Hagler does seem to be just a little bit frustrated about the fact that he could not put his man away. He's not doing anything wrong. Another left hook right to the mouth.
Well, Hagler's doing everything right. It's just that Obel is not cooperating.
Hagler stalks his man once more. Obel comes back with a combination. Misses though. And 3, 4 quick punches and a right hand to the top of the head. Staggers Obel, goes into the ropes. Octavio Medon says, that's all, that's enough. Marvin Hagler is still the champion of the world. And the crowd here loves it, and they are very appreciative of a very fine effort by the challenger from Venezuela, Fulgencio Obelmejias. He took everything that Marvin Hagler could dish out, Ray. Just about set for the first round of the middleweight championship in San Remo, Italy. There's the bell, we're underway. Marvin Hagler on the left of your screen wearing the red trunks, white stripe. Fully Obel in the white trunks wearing red shoes tonight. Right hand scored, but was warned for a little bit of a low blow by Ernesto Magana. Hagler, remember, had that rib injury. That was another low blow, and Hagler indicates so, although referee Ernesto Magana said nothing about it. And tries to do it again, and again came up a little bit low. There is an awful lot of discussion here, and in fact everywhere, and Larry Merchant alluded to that earlier, that a lot of politics involved in Fully Obel's being the #1 contender. Right hand by Obel, and another good right hand. And that hurt Marvin Hagler a little bit. Hagler comes back with a right hand of his own. Let's take a...
One of the best punches. Fully Obel comes with that overhand right. He catches Marvin on the side of the face. It was a pretty good punch, yet it wasn't flush on the chin. Again, he's...
Hagler seems a little bit bothered, although he does not seem to be hurt by Obel.
It knocks the opponent's head back and puts him in position so he can throw that left hand.
Crowd support early on here, pretty much in favor of Fully Obel. That was Hagler's best combination. You could almost sense Marvin Hagler starting to get in gear a little bit, get into a rhythm. There was a good left hand by Hagler that caught Obel right on the chin. Hagler working to the stomach now as well. Comes overhand with the right and scores, and Obel gets out of there.
Outside's a different story because Obel is taller.
This time around, it's all fair. The right hand that caught Marvin mostly on the gloves. Neither man has really been hurt. We're in the 3rd round. Middleweight championship. Right to the top of the head by Obel. And that left hand caught him on the shoulder, and Obel with a good counterpunch with that.
Marvin's corner is very pleased with the way he's fighting. He's
Great left hand right there.
He's been moving his head, and he's getting inside, and they feel that also that looping right hand. that Obel was able to catch Marvin with earlier. It raises him up and you're able to come across with the right hand. Just like Marvin just did.
Stinging right hand, Obel back with a left hand of his own and takes the left hand from Hagler.
Those uppercuts, brings his head up, inline throw combination.
And there was a combination of 3 punches culminated by a right hand by Hagler and another right hand. 10 seconds remaining in the round here. This is the 4th round. It went 8 the first time. Obel taking a beating in this round from Hagler, another chopping right hand. And there's the uppercut at the bell.
This may be the round that Marvin gets Obel out of there because Obel's moving around. He doesn't seem as confident as he was. If Marvin can get a couple more of those uppercuts in and raise the head of Obel, I'm sure he can finish him off this round.
There's a right hand, didn't quite get all of it. And referee Ernesto Magana says, watch your head. There's an uppercut that scores and a right hand that scores, and Obel's still in close and still taking punishment. And another right hand, and down he goes. What a right hand from Marvin Hagler.
Those uppercuts were very effective. Raise his head,
And
he's
that's
over.
it.
He's through, Barry.
This one is all over. People in this theater, and let's take another look at it who are surprised.
Well, here we see Marvin just taking control now. He feels very confident. His punches are very accurate. He comes across with that good overhand right hook that sends fully Obel to the canvas. And the way Obel fell,
Never really got completely up on his toes, even though it was a long right hand.
Marvin got very good leverage behind that right hook. In fact, he was close, Barry, and that's the reason the power was there.
Simpson raises dogs. They both beat Alan Minter handily. Both were southpaws, and of course Hagler still is, although he can go both ways. First round. Quick jab by Hagler.
You will see a great deal of boxing skill from Marvin up until he's able to hurt Simpson, and then he'll get very mean and start taking advantage of it.
Hagler very sharp early on here. Marvin Hagler not one to waste a lot of punches.
What's going to be a factor in this fight, Barry, is the fact that Marvin Hagler has a very good right jab, very powerful. It sets his man up so well.
2 good shots from Hagler snapped the head of Tony Simpson back there. Simpson, tough customer. However, Davidson is 6'1". Marvin Hagler, considerably shorter. It'll be much more difficult for Tony Simpson to fight the fight against Marvin Hagler that he fought against Dwight Davidson, the #1 contender at the time.
Those are the type of combinations that's going to do a great deal of damage to Tony Simpson.
Marvin Hagler scores with an inordinate number of punches. He just does not waste a lot of punches. There's a left hand by Simpson.
And Hagler's not going to cooperate with him. Going to keep him on the outside of that right jab.
That's a good right hand lead by Marvin Hagler. Simpson has fought 15 southpaws, so this is nothing new to him.
You see there, Simpson went to the body. Inside, once again, he's very, very strong.
Tony Simpson content to fight at long range in the first round, and that is a different tactic for him.
Maintain this pace. This is a very fast pace for any fighter. And if he can maintain this and score some punches.
Simpson not likely to cut. He's only been cut once, and that was just a minor cut over the bridge of his nose. Never been cut around the eye.
Hagler, again, that jab is going to be a factor in this fight. Keeping Simpson outside in the center of the ring.
Simpson trying to get inside a little bit more early in the second round. Hagler still very sharp.
You notice what Hagler's doing. He's going to the body, he fakes and comes back to the head.
There was an uppercut lead. That hurt Simpson. Simpson with a good uppercut.
You see Simpson now is giving more body feints. Another punch you might see Hagler throw is that upward right jab. It comes from the waist. With a fighter like Simpson, you have to be able to box and punch. It's very difficult to fight a southpaw because of an unorthodox style, and the southpaw is able to connect.
Simpson's corner, you might have heard.
Back away and start boxing again.
Saw a little bit of a butt there, but there was no damage caused by that butt. Carlos Padilla saying, watch your heads. Hagler making Simpson chase him. And getting inside, scoring with a good left hand. It came behind an uppercut. Hagler with 3 punches that all scored right on the face of Tony Simpson. You heard Marvin Hagler's corner say essentially, in fact specifically, just do what you're doing.
The movement that Hagler has, and also by being a southpaw, it creates a few problems for Simpson.
Good right hand and another left hand by Hagler, but Simpson keeps coming. Wild left hand by Tony Simpson.
I think what Hagler should try to do now is see how the body is. Go downstairs a couple times.
A little bit of blood from the nose of Tony Simpson.
Well, you notice now, Hagler's fighting orthodox. He's fighting the correct way. And all of a sudden he'll change back to southpaw. Now that's confusing, especially if you're good at it. Hagler is good at it.
Hagler, good short right hand. Right here you have the feeling that Marvin Hagler feels he has this fight won.
Well, not really. But you got to stay on your toes. This is a thinker's man game. By Tony Simpson. He went to the head with the left hook and came back with a good left hook to the body.
Tony Simpson so far, no reason to hang his head, takes a good left hand.
Again, that's not the same right jab I was talking about earlier that Hagler has.
Simpson right on top of Hagler for the moment, but doing no visible damage. And takes a good straight right hand that time from Hagler. And again, blood to the nose, 2 more right hands. And again, Hagler dusts him with that right hand.
What Simpson could do also, Barrister, a couple lead-off right hands. That's a good punch on the southpaw, against the southpaw rather.
And again, that snapping right hand jab by Marvin Hagler. Left hand lead that time by Hagler. Goes to right-handed again. Now back to left hand. What a jab. Brilliant jab by Marvin Hagler. And Simpson gets inside and starts banging away with the champion. Simpson now cut alongside the eye. It's above the eye, obviously it is much more dangerous.
That was a good combination by Simpson there.
Almost certainly will close before too long. Marvin Hagler goes right for it.
Oh, yes, he's more experienced, and I mean, he is a great generalship. He has all of that. He's an all-around fighter.
It's only now that he's really starting to be recognized. You're a southpaw, you're black, and you're good. And there is a booming left hand behind a right hand by Marvin Hagler.
To try to take his title away from him is like trying to take a little puppy from a dog.
Another good jolting left hand. And now there is blood apparently from the bridge of the nose right up alongside that left eye. Carlos Padilla takes a good look at that. There is a cut along, seems to be right at the bridge of the nose, and combinations of punches by Hagler. Simpson fights back. Hagler tags him with a right, and another right behind an uppercut. Hagler right back on his man now, sensing that he has him hurt. And down goes Tony Simpson. And here's another look at it, Ray. This is the first knockdown.
Well, Hagler here, he's on the attack, and Simpson still a little dazed from that early barrage of punches, and fatigue and the attack. The accumulation of punches that he received from Marvin Hagler.
Got to fix the equipment. Simpson right on Marvin Hagler once again. Still plenty of time left in this round. Hagler trying to finish it off right here. A jolting right hand, a looping right hand by Hagler. And another. Simpson stands toe-to-toe. He's down, and this should be it. Padilla sends him to the neutral corner. Simpson is on his feet. And that's all. That is all. And again, it was an accumulation of punches, Ray.
Well, Hagler wore down Simpson with a barrage of punches to the body, to the head. That overhand right there dazed Simpson. You see him, he's just there, a stationary target. Hagler takes advantage of it, so Simpson goes down once again.
You know, I'm just continually amazed as we look at that angle from up top.
Look at the leverage, the right hand to the top, the back of the head.
Started to say I'm continually amazed at how few punches Marvin Hagler misses.
Well, he doubled up on the right hand, Barry. He was coming back with a third right hand. Simpson was already down. Once again, that overhand right land. Simpson knees buckle. He's ready to go at any time, and Hagler takes advantage of it.
A little bit of chaos going on in the ring. To say that Marvin Hagler was impressive would be to make a great understatement.
It would be an understatement.
So the return battle then underway. Undisputed World Middleweight Championship. Marvin Hagler, 9 defenses at Richfield near Chicago, which I saw. And they're trying to say that Hamsho now can improve on that score. I'm not sure that he can. We'll soon find out. You can't really teach an old dog new tricks. He's brought in Al Savani, and he says, I'm not taking it easy with this fellow. I feel very mean, very serious, he said before the fight. It's for the World Boxing Association and the International Boxing Federation Championships. 15 rounds. And maybe he's been listening to the new training tactics. He normally fights with his face a bit too much. So the New York referee, Arthur McCanty, got a job on his hands here. It's getting a bit ill-tempered after only 1 round. So now let's see if in the second things quieten down a bit. I don't think they will. First round was fairly close, really. There wasn't too much going on. I suppose you could say Hagler might have stolen it, but that was about all. There are cynics in the fight game. I've often said that Hagler's strictly a front runner. He likes things his own way. Well, so far he's had most things his own way. 3 judges vote, the referee doesn't in the WBA, and the 3 knockdown rule is in effect. It means if any one boxer goes down 3 times in 1 round, it's stopped. Oh, and at that point, when he stood square on and tried to slug it out, Hamsho, he almost paid the penalty with that, because Hagler picks good punches when he's countering. So there you go in the replay there, you see how fierce this. Hamsho's unbeaten since he last lost to this champion. Decision over Wilfredo Benitez. And knocked Bobby chairs off the pedestal. He looked like being a good fighter. I'm not sure, it's more of the style of their fighting than really being deliberate, I suspect. Because last time they were both cut badly. Hamsho obviously worse than Hagler, but Hagler had quite a few stitches. Oh, referee risking it a bit as he goes in there. They're not breaking on command. He looks as though he's got to physically do it. The leading right hand punch. That's Hagler's really chief one. He looks as though he might be out of distance, but he isn't. He's got deceptively long arms. And the crowd echoed that one. They knew that right hook right above our commentary position there caught Hamsho on the chin. And it looks to me like a repeat of their first fight, where it's going to be all bruise and battle and swing and hope from this strong fella Mustafa Hamsho. And Hagler tried to outsmart him and obviously outpunch him. Bit of shoving with the shoulder there. Hagler would like to keep this fight at long range. He doesn't want to get... You see, that's where he's so good, with the longer punches anyway. Stop holding and hitting, says McCanty. Hasn't got much style, Hamsho, but he's a wearing down fighter. But the right hand right on the chin there. He softened him up earlier with that one. But toughness is not being related to winning as far as Hamsho's concerned. He looks as in trouble. It's 7-8. He's making it clear. He's getting the mandatory 8. But he is definitely in a lot of trouble here, Hamsho. And Hagler can do it in the third. So all the pre-fight tactics haven't really paid off. He's got to get in there and try and slug it out. Hopefully take the play away a bit from Hagler now. But I doubt if he can do it, almost losing his trunks too. If Hagler picks his punches now, actually pot shots, he can't miss Hamsho, I should say. Just on instinct now. Hamsho, it's all he's doing. He went 11 rounds last time, but he won't be able to do it here, I don't think. He's floundering. Oh, on the right hand again. There was almost a delay as he went down. Al Certo, the manager, says no more. He's in there. A compassionate act there by the manager. And the referee couldn't understand why he came in. But I hand that to Al Certo to get into the ring because he could see Hamsho had it. And he's entitled to do that. 63 fights now. This is his 64th. His 10th title defense.
And this division can really punch, right?
Hagler looks like the heavyweight compared to Demmings.
Whoa! Did the knees buckle that time? How good was that left hand?
Well, I tell you, both corners had long conferences with their fighters between rounds. This could very well develop into a tactical fight.
I'm impressed with Demmings with that left hook because you'll notice that'll be the most effective punch in the fight. The right hand is up in the air and the left hook goes in there.
Hagler can really take a punch, though.
These are two well-schooled, experienced middleweights. I tell you, Demmings seems to keep his legs a little too far apart, which can take away from your punching power. Demmings is still a little tight, and when you're tight, if you get hit, you can be hurt. He just hasn't relaxed. He hasn't found himself.
His left eye looks like it's partly
closed. Yeah, it looks like
it
got caught a glove in it, and it got sort of blurred.
Harold Weston, in his last fight for the welterweight championship of the world, got thumbed in the eye, and it took him about 2 or 3 rounds before he could get himself together and find the other fellow. It could really blind you.
Demmings has a little welt under it. I noticed him.
Well, they'll have to work on it in the corner between rounds, and just about all you can do is throw some good cold water in there and hope for the best.
Looks like Hagler's hit it a couple of times since, hasn't he?
Hagler got hit him with a very good left hand. The kid took it well.
He doesn't have much movement of the feet, though, does he? Demmings had a wide stance, hasn't he?
I tell you, Demmings threw a nice combination, but his punches are more or less arm punches and slaps. He doesn't close his glove.
With all the punches thrown,
Hagler and a bad eye on Demmings. Closing seconds of round 2. This one's supposed to go 10. Demmings has 9 knockouts and his 20 wins, so you're right. He can hit.
Tell you, Demmings is fighting a smart tactical fight. He's moving to his left every time Hagler tries to lead, and it brings him right outside Hagler's right foot, and Hagler can't find him.
He's tough from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet, Tom.
Well, Demmings isn't showing him too much respect. Hagler's had 30 knockouts in 37 fights, and Demmings is in there clowning.
That Hagler looks strong. He sort of turns right side once in a while. He's not southpaw all the time.
He goes both ways. He's a very...
Now he's fighting orthodox, not fighting southpaw now.
Fighting right-handed right now.
Now he turned around again.
Now he's southpaw.
Demmings is going to have to nail Hagler with a good punch to make him respect him, because now he's just starting to walk in and really take charge.
Oh, now Demmings laughed at Hagler, and
I won't be surprised to see Demmings get out of there, if not this round, the next couple.
Well, what Hagler is a real honest workman. He's in there, he's putting pressure on you, he's moving his hands all the time. Demmings is trying to steal punches, clown. He seems to do better from the orthodox stance than he does when he fights southpaw. There he's fighting orthodox now.
What is Demmings trying to pull off now?
He got hurt, Demmings.
Round 4 is almost over.
I tell you, Demmings was arguing with his cornerman between rounds. Maybe he said to him, "You told me I'm fighting a southpaw, and this guy's fooling me by turning around. No fair." See, now he's orthodox again. That's a very effective move on Hagler's part. He just keeps switching. 1 minute he's southpaw, next minute he's back with the left foot in front.
Oh,
very effective.
He was trapped in a corner, and all of a sudden now he's got...
He goes right-handed in the clinches, Tom. See, left foot in front. Right. He goes right-handed in the clinches.
A couple of good right hands.
Yeah, he's throwing all the solid punches.
Neither one of them are going to the body much, are they?
Hagler threw a beautiful right hand to the body before. Those are the kind of punches that take a little bit that Demmings has left out of him. There was another good right hand to the body.
This is a no-no with a southpaw, staying on top of those ropes. Mechanic in there. He's throwing shots to the body, shots to the head. He's really taking charge.
He hurt Demmings with that left hand.
Yeah, there was a young featherweight come out there by the name of Rocky Marciano.
I tell you, he's hit Demmings with his Sunday punches. Nothing's happened. Yes, he does.
Ooh, there he was. Tried. He's a good-looking right-handed fighter. I'm talking about Hagler.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Who said he's a southpaw?
Well, he's been a southpaw all his life, but this is a surprise. I guess it's a surprise to everybody. And it seems to me he fights better with his left hand extended. Hey, you see that shift over?
Shifted again, huh?
There's a lot of good coaches in the audience here. They're telling Demmings to get down low, and that's exactly what he should be doing. He was just about ready to go.
Good left hook, good right uppercut by Demmings. Another right uppercut.
Most states, if your mouthpiece falls out of your mouth, shame on you.
Oddly enough, Hagler's nose is bleeding again, too.
Heavier.
Good left hook landed by Demmings that time.
Now, Hagler's backed off a little bit. Less than 30 seconds.
I tell you, Hagler is a determined fighter. He can really take the courage out of you. He just doesn't stop. He tried hard early in that 7th round, and he more or less shot his bolt. Hagler just goes on, just keeps throwing punches.
I think he'll settle for a first win, Gil. I don't know about that second win. Tell you one thing, he's landing good punches.
You know, and you're going to war with some of the great people around that East Coast. You're a pretty good fighter.
That's right. He's right-handed again. There we go.
Oh, best puncher.
That was the best puncher of the night. And he took it.
And now Demmings fights a little bit.
That's what Demmings has to do. He has to get off first. As you pointed out before, Hagler is a very strong guy, but he's a clubber.
What do you mean by a clubber?
Well, he doesn't have that real snap in a punch. He has strong arms.
Oh! That was a good right hand.
Oh!
All over. That right hand was a number.
Well, we have 47 seconds to go.
No, it's all over, Gil.
Yeah, it looks that way.
It's all over.
They should stop this fight. Hagler just looked at the referee and asked him to stop it.
It's all over. There it is. The winner's Marvin Hagler. His 31st knockout. It came with 38 seconds left in round number 8.
It's 22 seconds in round number 8. The referee Larry Rosadilla stopping the bout, and the winner by way of knockout, the Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
We're ready to go with first round action. Hagler in the red trunks circling to the left. Geraldo on the white trunks now at the bottom of your screen. Hagler coming on. We watched Geraldo on that same card of the Hagler-Hominy fight in Portland, Maine, and he sends Geraldo down to the canvas.
No knockdown, Tim. No knockdown.
good on his feet. Hagler counter-punching, got a straight right hand. Now he throws that right hand jab.
Hagler's
Hagler just missed with a right hook. Gets that right hand in.
If he keeps moving this way, we're going to have a 10-round fight. And that's some prediction to make with a punch like Hagler can get you out there any time.
Oh, a good sharp left hook from Hagler.
Good counter from Geraldo.
Left hand landed, but Geraldo was backing away, went to the ropes.
Geraldo does that quite often with punches. He takes the sting out of him because he just seems to move back with the punch. Takes that, it cushions the punch.
There's some of that movement and a little of the bravado from Marcos Geraldo. And he's flurrying.
He's fighting Hagler's fight, toe-to-toe.
Perhaps with some justification, a right hook landed.
Tim, he cushioned the punch a little bit. He rolled with it. Wasn't as good a punch as it seemed to be.
Goody Petronelli, Pat Petronelli handled Marvin Hagler. Lou Caporata there second.
There's that big right hook of Marvin's.
Jerry Cooney, his first big network appearance against the veteran Jimmy Young. Should be a great fight. You'll see it here on the Sports Spectacular. Sunday, May 25th.
Hagler landed a flagrantly low blow, but the referee was behind and didn't see it.
Coming up in June, next month.
You mentioned earlier that Geraldo has a regal look in the ring. One thing, he doesn't seem to have any respect for Hagler at all. He has confidence in himself, Tim. Hagler's been landing some low blows, Tim. He just landed another low blow, and they're really low. I'm surprised that the referee hasn't warned him as yet.
Carlos Padilla is the referee. He's from Las Vegas, Nevada, but living here the last couple of years. Hagler popping that jab, backing Geraldo up. Marcos Geraldo happy to get this opportunity here against the #1 ranked fighter, and he's putting some pressure on. Hagler covered up well, however. Hagler able to duck under most of Geraldo's blows. Now he comes up from underneath and landed an uppercut. We'll continue live from Las Vegas after this word from your local station.
Why not? He can fight like heck.
There it is now from Geraldo. He fights in flurries. He did that against Cicero. Last fight we watched. Him in action. Tournament, Bruce Litsky, the current leader.
Hagler has switched around again and got nailed with a counter punch.
He got nailed with that right hand.
That's Geraldo's like saying that'll teach you.
Right hand once again, and it looked like they bumped heads on that exchange.
No cuts, okay? Watch your head.
Hagler's the guy with the bald head. You know, they can really bust you up with those bald heads, and he's the guy that rubbed his head.
Begin to think if he had power, he'd be awesome.
Right, he's just an arm puncher, Tim, but he's landing.
Final seconds of the 7th round. Marvin Hagler rated #1, Geraldo #5, and Hagler finishing strongly.
All the tactics may go out the window, and now it's going to be who outfights who, and the fight's on the line. So let's see who can outfight who.
Hagler is really determined in this round, putting continual pressure now on Geraldo. Geraldo continues to counterpunch effectively. Hagler missing rather badly, perhaps showing a little frustration.
Geraldo's lost a little steam, though, Tim. He didn't take advantage of it. He didn't counterpunch.
That's right. Hagler a little busier than Geraldo this round. Good left to the cheekbone of Geraldo.
There's that moment of truth we were talking about, Tim. Have to settle down and fight.
Not much sting in Geraldo's punches in this 8th round. He does appear arm weary. Hagler landed that. Hagler going to the body, coming up top, throwing a lot of leather in this 8th round. Under 30 seconds to go. Marvin Hagler, been a good round for him. We're in the final seconds of the 8th.
In the fight now, Tim, there's no more of this tactic business. Now he's going to have to fight around. He's going to have to take it back from Hagler. If he can't do it this round, the 10th round will be just academic.
We still have it very close on our card, but Hagler just seems to have taken a lot out of Geraldo in that 8th round. So this is certainly the key round for the Mexican champion, and Hagler. Hagler jabbing effectively. He has the last couple of rounds. Exciting young Jerry Cooney against the veteran Jimmy Young. First big test for Cooney. Hagler. Approaching the end of the 9th round. Marvin Hagler assuming command in this fight. Your understanding of Spanish is superior to mine, Gil. That's not saying a lot, mind you.
Well, he's trying.
He's trying.
He's trying.
He will try. Oh, he was wobbled by Hagler, but got his balance back. He got a warning from Carlos Padilla, the referee. Hagler's going to keep coming at him. Hagler can't be absolutely certain that he's got this fight on points, so he can't afford to just laze around out there, and it looks like he's going to continue to throw punches.
He's taking big shots at Geraldo now, though. Geraldo has to punch himself, and he has to keep punching.
They're toe-to-toe in the middle of the ring now, this final round. Right hand snapped Geraldo's head back. Kind of an uphill jab from Hagler against his taller opponent.
As we pointed out before, his jab is much more powerful than Geraldo's right hand. Hagler is tired, as we pointed out, though, Tim.
He's tired. He
punches.
Hasn't got anything on it, though. And Hagler scoring inside. Geraldo has not hurt his reputation in this fight against Marvin Hagler.
Tim, he's rated #5 in the world, and rightly so.
Hagler scoring inside with a combination. Less than 30 seconds to go in the fight.
Geraldo is weary. He's weary.
He's tired, but he's never really been hurt by Marvin Hagler. The bomb thrower from Brockton. Spectacular. Final seconds of the fight.
A lot of people are yelling, Geraldo, Geraldo.
Well, he's got a lot of Mexican fans, and he put on a great show here. That's the end of the fight. And Marvin Hagler has had his hands full. The crowd comes to its feet.
Standing ovation, Tim. Standing ovation.
Great middleweight fight.
In favor of the winner by unanimous decision, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Well, there it is, Marvin Hagler.
And that is the fact that in rounds 6 and 7 of that fight, Ray Leonard seemed to have won by a wide margin, and yet they were only scored 10-9, the same as some later rounds that were won by Thomas Hearns.
You're going to see a lot of boxing from Hagler, because I think what he's going to do now, he's going to try to find out what is the most effective maneuver against Hamsho.
Rarely will change expression. Hamsho we expect to come right at Marvin. Right now they're at long range. Feeling out period. 30 seconds into round 1 middleweight championship. First exchange. Hagler will switch hands on you too. He'll go southpaw, he'll go the other way, he'll go every which way.
Because Hagler's going to box him, going to outmaneuver him. And Hagler's right jab is very effective here. He's scoring at will.
Very sharp early on. 2 jabs right there that Hamsho tries to duck under, it can't. I don't believe Hagler has missed a right hand in a fight. Hamsho has been prone to cut. And again, a very, very sharp right hand. And already the right side of Hamsho's face a little bit red. Well, admittedly, we are only about 2 minutes into the first round of this fight, but Hagler has looked extremely sharp. And scores twice again and comes with the left hand on the top of the head. And another good right hand that stands Hamsho straight up. And another one. Going to run out of fingers pretty soon.
And that's the reason I want to give him an opportunity to make some money.
Well, he's managed to keep Hamsho at long range right where he wants him. Hamsho just simply cannot get inside that jab of Hagler's. Coming up on the 30-second mark here, and Hagler draws a warning to keep his hands up. And a right hand stands him up again. Marvin Hagler looking extremely sharp here. Hamsho tries to crowd him now, and Hagler covers up and gets out of there. Inside the 20-second mark, round one. Hamsho missing a counter punch. Round one, all Marvin Hagler. Once again, the right hand, the right side of the face. We come to the end of round one. Round two, scheduled 15-rounder, middleweight championship of the world. Hagler right to work with the right hand again against Hamsho. And a left hand scores, and Hagler goes after him. Hamsho swarming Hagler now against the ropes. Showing a little offense of his own, but swinging wildly.
Hagler can change up. He's versatile, he can box, and most of all, he can punch.
So Hamsho trying to get inside, being a little bit more effective early in the second round here, doing that than he was in the first. Right hand catches Hamsho backing away. And again, a right hand to the side of the head of Hamsho, keeping him away, keeping him off balance. Left hand scores for Hagler. Once more, good stiff jab by Marvin Hagler, coming off a left hand by Hamsho that scored on the top of Hagler's head.
Because inside is very dangerous because you can sustain a headbutt.
Which, of course, was the case with Vito Antuofermo against Marvin Hagler. And a left hand again sends Hamsho back.
Because Hamsho is capable of throwing punches from any direction. He can hit you in the body, in the back of the head. I'd rather fight him on the outside.
Combination again stuns Hamsho. Much the worst of the early going here. Marvin Hagler looking extremely sharp. And Hamsho scores with a right hand. And a left hand to the nose of Marvin Hagler as Hamsho swarms him. And a good left hand again, and the knees wobble for just a moment.
It's going to take his toll completely.
Another right hand getting right in on the chin of Mustafa Hamsho. Hamsho fights back, tries to swarm again, takes two shots, gives one. Hamsho, the kind of guy who'll give up a couple of punches to get in a couple. He's been likened to Jake LaMotta, likened to Harry Greb. But as Larry Merchant mentioned, he's getting a boxing lesson right now from the champion Marvin Hagler. Mustafa Hamsho's face, and it has taken an awful lot of jabs. Another right hand catches him up on the left side of the face. The first two rounds here, and we just get underway here in round three, has been extremely sharp. The jab scoring between the guard of Mustafa Hamsho more important.
But Hagler's a superior fighter, and I'm quite sure the experience will take its toll.
I think there might be a cut on the right eye of Hamsho also.
Both fighters are cut at this present time, and I've been quite biased as far as Hagler is concerned because I really want to fight him because I look at him as being a great champion.
And Marvin continues to talk to his man. I don't think Marvin wants to fool around. I think the cut on Hamsho right now is probably the more serious of the two. And Marvin is just fighting like a man possessed right now. Inside the 1 minute mark remaining here in round three. I think Marvin's getting a little bit tired of butts. It happened in the Antuofermo fight, and it happens here in round three against Mustafa Hamsho. And Hagler remains very sharp. Right hand again scores. I've never seen Marvin Hagler lose his cool, and I'm not implying that he's lost it now, but I do think he wants to get this over with. A couple of punches scoring there by Hamsho, and Hagler comes right back at him. 5 seconds remain. Round four, and let's see how good the cut man in each corner. Hamsho starts bleeding almost immediately. No blood showing from Hagler right now. Hagler gets right back to work. Combination by Hamsho, scoring on Hagler. Hagler again peppering Hamsho with that jab, keeping his man off balance. And a right hand scores, but a counter punch by Hamsho scores on a the side of the head of Hamsho. It's only been 3.5 rounds, but I'll tell you, it's been an upbeat 3.5 rounds here in the middleweight championship. Hagler gets out of the ropes. He doesn't like it there. Hamsho bores in on him once again. Right hand scores by Hamsho to the side of the head of Hagler. Hamsho again swarming on his man. And now blood showing from the left eye as well, maybe along the bridge of the nose of Hamsho. Action continues. Hagler goes right to work on it. Hagler jabbing very effectively here. Blood from both eyes of the challenger.
At this point now, it's not worth your health.
Hamsho has been like, or rather Hagler has been like a surgeon here. There's no question about it. Again, scores 2 more times. Well, game is a word that we overuse perhaps in the sport of boxing. I think you have to use it and use it accurately so on Mustafa Hamsho. Hagler really punishing him right here. Hamsho comes back with a right hand and scores with another right hand. This fight should not go on a great deal longer. The left eye does not seem to be bleeding any longer right now. And Marvin Hagler, as is his job, continues to score almost at will on the face of Mustafa Hamsho. Hamsho dead game, but... And he told Mustafa Hamsho, you just got to get out and do it right now, because if you don't, I'm going to stop the fight. And that's exactly what Hamsho is trying to do.
Well, Hamsho tried to stop the fight from the very beginning, and we see Marvin still in there. All you're going to see now is pretty much a boxing lesson. You're going to see Marvin displaying his talent.
Cutman in Hamsho's corner obviously doing a pretty good job, because we are almost a minute into this round and there is really not a great deal of blood, and he was cut pretty seriously on both eyes. And there's a shot that opens it up again on the left eye. The right eye seems to be cut underneath the eye and the left eye above the eye.
I like what I see of Marvin. He's boxing, he's utilizing the whole ring, and when he has an opportunity to take control, he stands there and releases combinations.
Marvin doesn't want to do anything to get in any more close-in contact than he has to because of the butt. Right hand right on the chin of Hamsho that time. Hagler, realizing he's in control, is back to being the taskmaster that he was early. I think it was obvious that he got angry after the butt. Blood showing under the left eye of Hamsho now, as well as on top of the left eye. And there's a short right hand that I'm amazed Hamsho could stand up under. That was a heck of a punch. And again, a short right hand scoring on the side of the head.
Marvin, he's in complete control now. He's doing whatever he wants to do.
2 jabs to the nose of Hamsho. Hamsho tries a lunging right hand that misses. And Mustafa Hamsho just trying to emulate that if he possibly can here. And I think you heard his corner there just kind of exhorting him to get getting, and doing so because of the cut.
The bleeding seems to have stopped a little bit. And he just landed a pretty good shot on Hagler's chin.
Looping right hand by Hamsho, trying to get off first, and that's what you heard Braverman telling him.
And it makes the cut worse. It opens the cut up. Plus, you have a better chance of setting Hamsho up for a combination.
Hagler goes downstairs that time. And another left hand. But Hagler really has not been able to really hurt Hamsho, and he's hit him with every punch he's got.
This guy, Hamsho, is unbelievable. I mean, he's taken a barrage of good, solid punches from Hagler, and he still comes. He's still in there.
And more blood shows from the left side of the face of Mustafa Hamsho. Hamsho still tries to bore inside on him. Hagler pushes him away and uppercuts him. 20 seconds remaining in round 6. Middleweight championship at the Horizon, Chicago. Right hand counterpunch by Hagler. So when Hamsho does get off first, Hagler counterpunches him. Come to round 7. Hamsho's corner has done an outstanding job. They've remained calm. They've pretty much stopped the bleeding. Very good sharp jab by Hamsho.
Well, Well, I'm impressed with both men. I'm impressed with Hagler, his talent, where he utilizes the ring, and work his combinations. Very impressed with Hamsho. You notice he just stuck his tongue out. The guy is tough.
Well, the crowd here really picking up the tempo as well as the fighters. Hagler just working his man, circling him to the left. Counter punch with the right hand, scores on the face of Hamsho. Little blood showing on the side of the eye once more of Marvin Hagler. You and I talked in your fight. When you do get cut like that, sometimes it affects the peripheral vision, the vision to the side. I know you concerned yourself with that in your fight with Thomas Hearns. Hamsho right now, and Hagler seems to be taking advantage of it.
Yes, he is. Hagler has the experience to take full advantage of the opportunity.
And there's a right hand that sends Hamsho reeling. Hamsho comes right back up and sticks his tongue out. And to round 7.
Solid right hand, and bang, he comes right back with it.
No questioning the fitness of these two fighters. There's no questioning the gamesmanship of these two fighters. Hagler comes right out with a right hand lead. I think it got a pretty good indication of what kind of a punch Hamsho could take in that replay that you just saw between rounds. Hagler had his man off balance and hit him a ton with a right hand, and Hamsho didn't go down. Back against the ropes goes Hamsho now. Hamsho showing himself as a more than qualified contender here. Slashing right hand again by Hagler to the chest, and a right hand right on the button of Hamsho, but Hamsho doesn't take a backward step. He's back with a combination of his own, and a left hand to the chin once more by Hagler. Right hand scores to the side of the face. Hagler is really being like a surgeon, and Hamsho has taken it all. 3 punches right on the nose. Another whistling left hand to the side of the head of Mustafa Hamsho, and a right hand scores. And Hamsho, maybe for the first time, takes a backward step. Hagler draws a warning for holding. 2 right hands to the side of the face of Hamsho by Marvin Hagler. Downstairs, then the right hand upstairs, and that wobbles the knees of Hamsho.
That combination there did a lot of damage to Hamsho.
He went 2 right hands, 1 upstairs, 1 downstairs, and then came back with a 1 to the face.
A guy's durable at Hamsho.
Hamsho keeps scoring in, scores with the left hand to the head of Marvin Hagler.
Well, he's not. I think all he wants to do is win.
Combination by Hamsho on the side of the head of Marvin Hagler. Hagler backs up, hits him with the right hand of his own. End of round 7.
You know, whatever happens, Mustafa Hamsho doesn't want to leave here tonight thinking he didn't give it everything he had.
Scored with a left hand right there. Lunges back at Hagler, but Hagler gets out of there in a hurry. Hagler still has a lot of legs under him. Scores with a combination of his own. That stops Hamsho. I think Hagler hurt Hamsho for the first time in the fight in that last round. We're in round 9. A little bit of blood again shows over the right eye of Marvin Hagler, earlier than it has in previous rounds. To the body and then to the head by Hamsho. Hagler peppering him with the right hand once again. Very effective jab. Can't talk enough about it. And another left hand to the side of the head of Hamsho. Shows a lot of good foot speed. He really can move. He's been up on his toes. He's fought flat-footed. He's changed styles. He's changed hands. There's a right hand by Hamsho that grazes the chin. And he takes one back on the chin with the right hand by Hagler.
When Marvin releases 2 3-punch combinations.
Again, more combinations of punches from Marvin Hagler. Flurry of right hands in the last round has not really hurt Mustafa Hamsho, who has not but 1 time taken a backward step.
But I don't think he feels it's the right time to take advantage of it.
More blood actually showing in the face of Marvin Hagler than there is on the face of Mustafa Hamsho now, and it looked just 5 rounds ago like the thing was going to be stopped right there. Hamsho with a jab right up on the cut over the right eye of Marvin Hagler. Hagler beginning to score with the left hand a little bit now. And a combination once again by Marvin Hagler, and Hamsho's back in his own corner as the 9th round comes to an end. And Hamsho opens up a little offense. Like likewise on the face of Marvin Hagler as Hamsho continues to pepper him. And there's a right hand, sends Hamsho back a couple of steps. Didn't really seem to hurt him too much, however. Left hand scores, and I think you probably heard the sound of that as clearly as I did here. Right hand scores, and now Hagler looks as though he might be cut up near the bridge of the nose on the inside of the right eye.
Both men are still throwing a lot of punches, a lot of solid shots. So there's a great deal of damage being done.
Looping left hand scores by Hamsho and a right hand of the nose, and there's some blood on the face of Marvin Hagler. Halfway through round 10. Right hand uppercut just stood the head of Mustafa Hamsho, snapped it right back. And a combination again of another right hand, and the crowd comes alive, and another right hand in the face of Hamsho. Hamsho continues to bore in on the champion Marvin Hagler, who scores once more. And Hamsho still does not appear to be hurt. He has taken an awful lot of punishment from the champion. Left hand by Hamsho, right up on the cut of Marvin Hagler. Wild right hand, and now a right hand to the body of Hamsho. Hamsho has his man against the ropes. Hagler pounds on him.
You know, at this point now, you have to say, what is keeping Hamsho up?
He has absorbed an awful lot of punishment. Two right hands right to the nose, and this backs him up. Two sharp jabs by Marvin Hagler, and a right hand a little bit short by Hagler, who is now stalking Hamsho. Left hand to the ribs and a right to the face. Hamsho back against the ropes. And now the steam seems to have gone from Mustafa Hamsho. And as a result of that, he didn't get to work on the cuts of Mustafa Hamsho. And the right eye was bleeding in the corner just as much as it was during the round. Very strange goings on here. Hagler goes to work on him, and Hamsho is fighting like it is for real, and this is the last round of the fight. Right hand again, and another right hand, and Hamsho's legs go again. Hagler continues to pound away to the body. Now to the head with the right hand. Hamsho tries to fight his way off the ropes. Uppercut scores by Marvin Hagler, and another right hand to the face, and the eyes continue to bleed of Mustafa Hamsho. Hagler combination, scoring at will. Crowd is alive. Right hand to the face once more of Hamsho. This time I think everybody is in agreement that the fight cannot go on much longer. Octavio Moran taking a very close look now at Mustafa Hamsho. Hamsho cut along the bridge of the nose, on the eye, inside the mouth, both eyes. Trying to do what he can to keep the attack of Marvin Hagler off of him, but there is very little he can do right now. Just trying to measure him, keep him away. Hagler scores with the right hand even so. And another right hand, and yet another. Combinations of punches by the champion. Tries to go downstairs, comes up, a right hand snaps his head back. Hamsho is against the ropes, takes another right hand, and an uppercut. Hamsho's corner is up, and they are saying, that's it, that's all. Braverman is saying, stop it. The referee does so. The fight is over, and Marvin Hagler has retained his undisputed middleweight championship of the world.
Well, at this point now, Hagler's in complete control, and he displays so much talent here. As we see Hamsho trying to line up Hagler with a punch, Hagler scores a straight right hook, rather.
I think one of the most remarkable things, and I think this is a sign of any great champion, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, that when you have the man in trouble, you don't waste punches. And Marvin Hagler did not waste a punch tonight.
Well, Hagler took advantage of the opportunity. He had his man hurt, and he took care of business.
So Marvin Hagler retaining the middleweight championship of the world, doing so in most impressive fashion. And you get one more look here at the end for Mustafa Hamsho. And you can't use the phrase enough. He was dead game, but there was nothing he could do. He was just in.
9 seconds, 11th round. The winner by technical knockout and still the world's middleweight champion, Marvin Hagler.
And so we're ready to go, live from Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. At stake, the undisputed middleweight championship of the world.
There's the jab from Hagler, and that's a punch that he will need tonight if he's to win against Duran.
Duran working the body of Hagler, and he gets a warning from the referee to watch it. We're halfway through the opening round. A bit of a right hand by Duran on the chin of Hagler was a glancing blow.
For those people who claim that Hagler would be awed by this event, this is the time when it would affect him. He would be tight in the first round and perhaps be hurt, as Duran hurt Leonard early in their fight. Gave a thumb to Davey Moore early in their fight, whether intentional or not. It blinded Moore's vision and helped him win that fight, and the Hagler camp very concerned about that tonight.
We haven't had any eruptions as yet. Duran with a short left hand. Hagler with a left hand of his own to the side of Duran's face. Hagler there showing the stiff jab and then the left cross to the head of Duran.
And so it'll be incumbent upon Hagler, as he blocks that right, to use the uppercut effectively on the inside, as he's doing right there.
Hagler working with the free left hand there as Duran was holding on just past the halfway mark of round 2. Hagler with a left hand to the head of Duran. That straightened him up. It looks like Hagler's having no problem moving Duran. Hagler comes from downstairs with an uppercut. As the champion, Hagler, starting to unwind. Duran with a right hand to the head of Hagler. Hagler seems intent on getting off first. That right hand by Duran was short on the chest of Hagler. A left to the stomach by Duran as Hagler missed and was out of position.
It's his defensive skills that I think will make this fight for him. Now on the inside, Hagler doing most of the punching.
Duran insists that he's in tip-top shape. He trained for most of the summer. Hagler did the same. Hagler just brought a right uppercut onto the face of Duran. Less than a minute to go in round 3. Duran with a left to the head. Hagler with a right to the head of Duran. Hagler with a big left hand that rocked Duran. Duran with a right uppercut. Duran moments ago ducked underneath an express train of a left hand by Hagler. Hagler caught nothing but air.
And they are both smiling at each other at alternate times during these rounds. There's the jab and the left hand by Hagler. That's what he wants to get in. So far, Duran, while Hagler hasn't landed much, Duran's going for all those feints.
Right hand by Duran. Hagler with a left to the body. That backed up Duran for an instant. A big swat of a left hand by Hagler, the kind of jab that decked Caveman Lee in the first round.
And I guess that's the most important weapon for him in this fight. If he can land it, he'll be very effective.
We're halfway through the fourth. Duran with a right hand, and Hagler didn't even move. A right hand by Duran. Right on the butt. That caught Hagler on the chin. Less than a minute to go in round 4. A right to the body by Duran, but he paid the price. Hagler countered with a left hook to the head.
Both fighters in the first 3.5 rounds.
Less than 30 seconds to go in the round. Hagler with a bit of a left hand. Duran with a right hand in response.
And there he does it. As soon as I said he hadn't done it, he switches to the righty stance.
Left hook to the head from the righty stance by Marvin Hagler. In the workouts every day, Hagler fought several rounds right-handed to be sharp, to be able to show Duran that he can go both ways. And Hagler with a right hook from the lefty stance rattled Roberto Duran.
And he landed a good uppercut just before that. So he's starting to get the hand speed unlimbered, and Hagler looks a little looser here in round 5.
We point that out because you should not be misled by the cheers of the crowd.
Good
Hagler with a right hand, Duran with a right hand. Hagler comes back with a straight left to the head. Less than a minute to go in the round. Duran gets away with a low blow out of the view of the referee.
And neither fighter working that effectively on the inside.
They trade body shots. Right hand by Duran, and that was right on the chin of Hagler, but he's not hurt. And there's the bell marking the end of the 5th round.
This is a tactical fight, and the experts were divided on who they thought would win if it became this kind of fight.
A left hand by Hagler. Duran shakes his head, no, I'm not hurt. A couple of jabs there by Hagler had put Duran off balance and wide open for the shot. Duran with a right hand after he was hit by a right by Hagler.
He can land often in the righty stance. There's the good jab by Hagler. A good right by Hagler. This is the way he needs to be in this fight.
A hard jab by Hagler from the orthodox stance. Hagler with a left hook to the head. Hagler switches to lefty, goes to righty. And they're in the center of the ring now. Duran not been able to make full connections as much as Hagler. Hagler here applying some pressure. He's gone into another gear.
And it's Hagler on the inside, not Duran, who's dominating the action as many people thought.
Hagler now digging in now, throwing shots, and he is catching Duran. Duran still coming forward. Big right hand by Hagler from the righty stance. That was his best punch. There's no question in this round, Hagler made up his mind to start to drill Duran, and he has approached Duran from a different philosophy, and that is, he has turned into slugger here. He was boxing Duran earlier in the fight. Duran is flat-footed, breathing hard, less than 30 seconds to go in the sixth, and Hagler is digging in and throwing shots from his heels.
The first real middleweight that Duran has faced, and he's finding out how powerful Hagler is.
Hagler with the left hand, another left hand. In between, Duran missed with an uppercut. Hagler comes out righty.
Landing even better at the righty than his right jab was landing when he was southpaw.
Right hand lead by Hagler from the orthodox stance. With a left hook to the head. Both fighters smiling at each other.
He has been the one who's been dominant when they are inside. Good lead right by Hagler.
And you can hear that across the ring. Hagler pushing Duran to a fast pace here. He wants Duran to work hard. Hagler out-punching Duran here in the seventh as he did in the sixth, and Duran seems undismayed.
Hagler dominated all the early rounds, as he may be doing here against Duran. Ran out of gas, got frustrated when the Firma wouldn't go down. Will that happen in this fight if Duran can take it the full 15?
It is Hagler who's got Duran against the ropes. They're at close range, and Hagler rumbling pretty well. A right hand by Duran at the bell. We are approaching the halfway mark of the fight. Al, I want your impressions about how one man has been able to prevail his will over the other, or has that occurred?
More out of technical abilities than anything else. He is simply a better boxer than Duran has faced in recent times. Duran himself has avoided being hit really flush by Hagler, and now Hagler turns to righty, and watch how effective he is when he turns to this stance.
He made a pivot move and brought that left hook to the head. He just did it twice.
And Marvin wants to fight on the inside with Duran. Unlike what people thought, he's ripping shots to the body and the head.
After a spirited 6th and 7th rounds, it's quiet here in the 8th. In round 8, there's always the problem of the butt.
And of course, Hagler himself has occasionally been guilty, as he was in his second fight with Anafermo, of using his head as a weapon.
Because of Hagler's ability to punch in bunches. Hard jab there by Hagler. Yet another one. A countering right hand by Duran. Duran comes out flat-footed for round number 9. A wide stance. It looks like Duran here wants to really rumble. He wants to get Hagler at close quarters.
Change up and use that often.
Hagler looks like he's ready to accommodate Mr. Duran if he wants to go toe-to-toe here at close quarters. Another right hand blocked by Hagler. Hagler with a 3-punch combination on the head of Duran.
Hagler slipping the jabs and pounding the body of Roberto Duran.
Then he came upstairs with some uppercuts. Hagler said he learned a great lesson from that controversial draw. He knew he ran out of gas down the final 5 rounds. He said he learned how to train.
And so far, no indication that Hagler is slowing the tempo. Good counter hook by Duran. It has no impact on Hagler.
Hagler threw a lead left hand, and Duran came with that countering hook. Less than a minute to go in the round.
Hagler continues also to work the body very effectively.
Hammering right hand by Duran on the head of Hagler.
This fight has ebbed and flowed on a number of different occasions. Right now, again, it's a chess match as they look for an opening. Good jab, double jab by Hagler, and he's gotten that punch on track since the second round.
Three-punch combination, and later some body work. That was the major noise in an otherwise. There's the bell for round 10.
And as a righty, I still maintain Hagler has done his best work. Look at on the inside. This is where Duran was supposed to win, but instead it's Hagler.
Admonishment to Duran by the referee for a low blow.
And for all the hassles over the referee, Stanley Christodoulou has played a minor role in this fight.
They're on the inside here in round 10.
And Duran has come up too many weight divisions, would appear to be the case on the inside. Hagler appears strong there.
Duran has slowed down somewhat. Chopping right hand by Duran, another one, and Hagler drills him with a right. Another low blow by Roberto Duran. As I count him, that's number 5.
Still no points being taken away, however, by Christodoulou. I think Duran is slowing down discernibly here in round 10.
And a right hand by Duran. Just when he was backing up, Hagler walked right into it. Less than 30 seconds to go in the 10th. Right hand high in the head of Hagler is very much in this fight.
Well, he's still upright anyway, and that gives him a chance.
A hard left hand by Hagler. Duran came back with his own right. And it appears right now that Duran cannot hurt Hagler. Hagler with a big left hand at the bell, and Duran gives him a mean look.
Isn't it better for Hagler to put the pressure on Duran? Get him tired, working these last few rounds. But Hagler obviously has it in his mind to box in this 11th round. Hagler's preoccupation with the judging would dictate that he might not fight this way in the later rounds, but he is doing it, risking what he feels might be bias on the part of the judges against him.
Referee once again lets them battle their way out of the clinch with less than 30 seconds to go in the 11th.
Step back.
Certainly the quietest round of the fight.
After going toe-to-toe in the middle rounds.
They told him too much movement in the last round, and he takes care of it by going right to Duran.
As champion, Hagler hasn't been this far before in less than 11 rounds.
And the last time Duran went this far was against Benitez about 2 years ago.
Right hand by Duran on Hagler's head.
He has shown good defense in this fight. Better, I think, than Duran expected. Duran breathing very heavily, and I think Marvin now trying to go to the body to exploit that.
Hagler is back on the inside, takes a right hand from Duran. Does some work with the uppercuts. As contrasted against the previous round, the 11th. Left hook by Duran to the head of Hagler.
He certainly picked up the pace on the inside, what we expected early from him.
Duran with a right uppercut. There's swelling underneath the eye, the left eye of Hagler. Dropped his hands to his side. Hagler's protecting his left eye.
And Marvin looks a little bit tired. This is starting to have some of the earmarks of the first Anna Fermo fight. Marvin tiring a little bit, and perhaps letting Duran back in this fight. And of course that swelling under the left eye a factor now.
This is reminiscent at this point of the Davey Moore fight, when Moore went inside on Duran and Duran connected with right hands. Hagler with the left hand, an uppercut, points to his chin.
Shocked to see him continue with the left hand stance.
We're into the 13th, and Duran's name is being chanted from here to Panama City. Duran looking to unload the right hand. Hagler punishes him with a couple of hard jabs. 7 years the champion, as a welterweight champion, as the junior middleweight champion. And here in his first middleweight fight with the best there's been since Carlos Monzon. Right hand by Duran. We're halfway through the 13th round. A left hand by Hagler, a right by Duran.
In this round, Hagler, I think, has rediscovered the right jab. It's been very effective. Duran not slipping it as well as he did in some previous rounds.
Right hand by Duran. Hagler came with a right hook. Duran with a chopping right hand. Something's happened here. And now it's showtime for Hands of Stone as he rattles Duran. Hagler with a right hand. The sneer is back, and at the bell, Duran with a right hand. And he is sharpshooting for that left eye of Marvin Hagler as swelling underneath on the cheekbone. We're into the 14th. Hagler comes out winging.
And he came out right-handed and was effective. Again, I'm puzzled by the fact that he won't fight right-handed more often. Look at him go to the body of Duran. Good uppercuts by Hagler.
In the first 20 seconds of this round, Hagler has been a tremendous force here. Right hand by Hagler.
And I said the onus was on Duran at the beginning to make this fight. He has shown us. He has come back from an early deficit and fought well toward the end of this fight.
Hagler with a right hand that caught Duran.
He may be sticking his mouthpiece out, but Hagler, I think, has done most of the scoring here in round 14. Hagler digging to the body again. Again, he works well inside.
Hagler is cut.
But here in round 14, despite the sneering, it's been Hagler on the inside dominating the action, as you see him doing right there. In my opinion, he may need a knockout to win, but it's up to the judges.
Duran points towards his chest. He says, come to me, I want you.
I think it's been Hagler who has been dominant. Some people thought it was the other way around. Look at Hagler ripping shots from the inside. He's so effective there, working the body and the head.
Hagler goes right to it here in the final round. He's staying close to Duran.
And I think that's the best place for him to be. Take away the power of Duran and work him on the inside.
Big left hand by Hagler on the chin of Duran, but Duran is okay, so okay, he sneered again at Hagler. The big news is that Duran was able to score heavily with the right hand tonight against Hagler. Duran now sensing that we only have a few ticks left on the clock, trying to get close enough, trying to get some punching room, but it's all Hagler down the stretch. Hagler with a big right hook and a left cross. Hagler takes a right hand from Duran. Hagler not taking any chances here, and he wallops Duran with the left hand. Duran with his back to the rope takes a right hook.
To the head of Roberto Duran.
20-odd seconds to go in the fight. Left hand by Hagler, and Roberto Duran drilled Hagler with his own right. 15 seconds to go. Two warriors, two champions, going the full 15 rounds. And he rocks Hagler with the right hand, Hagler with the left, as we head for the bell.
For the winner by unanimous decision, and still the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
So we're ready to go. 15 rounds of boxing, and I think the key words that come after that are or less. And there's no question about it that Juan Domingo Roldan is going to come after Marvin Hagler. Now, to what degree of success remains to be seen. He's strong, we know that. And there's a flash left hand. It is a knockdown. First time that Marvin Hagler has ever been knocked off his feet, and he's not happy about it.
It seemed more like a push, and Hagler just happened to be off balance.
I think that's exactly right. Now Marvin Hagler is going to have to contain his anger here.
That is the key for Hagler, to keep his composure, to keep cool, to not let this guy's style frustrate him.
Hagler going downstairs. That's the first time Marvin Hagler has been down either as an amateur or a professional.
For Marvin, Barry, he has to box this guy, take his time, but be very, very careful of this guy's punches, because his punches, Roldan's punches come from all angles, and he has the perfect style for a southpaw like Marvin Hagler.
Marvin Hagler, even though you saw that graphic, and there's another good left hand got in on the chin. Roldan's right is his more noteworthy punch, but that was a pretty good left. Showing surprising speed with his punches too. He came back with the left hand behind a lead right that time.
again, Roldan he throws the kind of punches, the type of punches rather, that normally hits a southpaw because he throws that right hand like there, and it comes from a blind side, and a lot of times the southpaw can't get out of the way of it.
Marvin Hagler, a very smart fighter in the ring, and he may take some time to find his opponent. That was a good short right hand by Hagler.
Marvin also must be very careful not to let that cut reopen that was done by Roberto Duran, because that could create a factor in this fight.
So Roldan, as we expected, forcing the action, a flash knockdown right seconds into the first round. And it was really more a case of Marvin Hagler being in the wrong place at the wrong time than it was a damaging punch. I don't think Hagler was particularly hurt. That right hand did get in by Roldan. It's a good round for him. I started to say, despite the fact that Hagler has an impressive knockout record, he's not a guy who's going to want to get in there and bang with you particularly. That's another good punch by Roldan.
Using that right jab.
Roldan definitely telegraphs his punches. You know when they're coming, but they still come.
That's what's going to cost him, but I think that Roldan's going to keep reaching for Hagler, and Hagler's going to counterpunch.
You heard the voice of Tito Alba, who is giving us a simultaneous interpretation of the conversation in Juan Roldan's corner, and Hagler picking up the pace here. Tito Alba interpreting for Tito Lecture and the rest of the corner people for Juan Domingo Roldan. So we will have that, and it definitely will add another image. There's the right hand got in. Ray, I would have to think that was no way a knockdown.
Well, it was evident because of the replay that the punch landed on the back head of Hagler, and it was more of a pull down than anything.
Heavy-handed punches here for Juan Domingo Roldan, and he is exactly as advertised. He's a little bit wild and a little bit out of control, but he can hit.
Inside, Hagler's more susceptible to be hit by one of those wild punches, like that uppercut there.
More kinds of punches in this fight than I've seen him throw before.
And another thing, Burr, he's able to throw those type of punches for at least a good 10 rounds.
Hagler came back with about 3 punches in a row, but he took a chopping right hand, and I think Hagler got the worst of it. There's another good right hand. Roldan going to that right hand lead.
You notice Roldan's been throwing punches, but let's see the reaction when he gets hit by one of Hagler's shots.
Hold it, great.
That was on the gloves. And that was a good right hand by Hagler. And there was a good right hand by Roldan. Both men were shook.
Roldan can throw those short punches, those uppercuts, the looping right hand. Hagler has to be very careful of that.
I'm just amazed the way he telegraphs his punches that he's finding Hagler as much as he is.
Well, he has more speed behind his punches. Roldan has. And his punches inside are really short.
That was a low punch right there. Let's see if Torres says anything about it. He did at the bell. And he banged himself in the head a couple of times. Hagler comes out very busily to start the third round. Both men have cut in the past. That's another point should be made. A little bit of blood on the bridge of the nose of Juan Roldan.
Hagler's become a little frustrated now, Bert. Marvin's doing the right thing. Forget about the crowd. Box this guy. Don't stand there and trade punches.
And Hagler getting much the best of that. I'll tell you, every time Roldan scores, good counter-punching right hand by Hagler. Discretion being the better part of valor.
See, Marvin now is starting to run into Roldan. He's starting to get his timing, but then again, he's being hit by those bombs.
He is getting hit. There's no question about it. Roldan just stalking Hagler.
And he's cocking that right hand. you see, Barry, every time that Roldan goes down, he's able to come up with some kind of punch, like the uppercuts.
Uppercuts have been effective for him. The other thing that he's doing is he's setting up his right hand with his left, which is something he hasn't done.
See, Marvelous finds it very difficult to really get this guy in a stationary position to land some shots.
Actually, Roldan scored with a counter-punching right hand that time. He's not usually the counter-puncher.
Watch what happens when Marvin starts throwing his punches. He started to put his feet together because this guy's
Roldan was hurt by Hagler there. He's down between the ropes. And the left eye, it is closed. And that eye is still bothering Juan Roldan. There's no question about it. He's blinking his eye as he came out. And I think we're seeing a little bit of anger here, and that could be the kiss of death.
Well, I guess it's obvious now that a thumb can turn the whole fight completely around.
This really has been an outstanding fight so far, particularly for Juan Roldan. Blood alongside the nose now. I don't believe it's from the eye.
Although I'm sure it was unintentional.
And Hagler, of course, sensing the kill here. The blood is coming from the bridge of the nose, but the eye is not in good shape.
Every punch that he possibly can. I'm sure his vision is a little blurred. And what Hagler should probably do is move more so to his left.
He is still blinking that eye, and it's only a matter of time until the eye shuts completely. Hagler, of course, the master at working on a situation like that. Nevertheless, it's really marred this fight. We're going to try to get another look to see just exactly what happened. Larry Merchant will talk about that between rounds here.
Normally when something like this occurs, when a guy becomes handicapped, his vision is blurred, because of his experience, he can deal with it. Like myself and Tommy Hearns fight, like Marvin Hagler, especially when he becomes handicapped. Hagler's going to take control because the eye probably will be closed by the end of this round. Eye looks really bad. And now that the left hook, because Marvin became orthodox now.
I trust Marvin will go to the orthodox style much more often. Also a cut on the bridge of the nose. And if there is a next time in this fight between these two men, you have to think that Marvin Hagler is going to have a great deal of respect for Juan Domingo Roldan. Some of the sting also apparently gone from Roldan's punches. He's virtually in a no-win situation, barring the totally unforeseen, Larry.
This is a 7-1 underdog, and I imagine those people who laid the odds are a bit nervous after 3 rounds.
Well, the eye, of course, of Juan Roldan virtually closed, and it makes him half a fighter, I would think, Ray, essentially.
It makes you more determined. It also makes you more so aware that your chances are slimmer. I feel that, once again, an experienced fighter, he knows exactly how to deal with that situation. I think what's going to compensate for his inexperience is his own determination and heart.
And, of course, for Juan Roldan to see it, and therefore, oddly enough, get out of the way from it. And a combination by Hagler has Roldan covering up, and now Hagler backs him away with another combination. Roldan taking punishment on the eye, being given Marvin Hagler virtually at will. There's a good right hand by Hagler. That one he could have seen. It seems as hard as Marvin Hagler tries to impress, something always happens that takes the edge off a victory for him.
But one thing about it is the fact that Hagler is somewhat a little fatigued himself because he had to withstand the barrage of punches thrown by Roldan.
Counter-punching left hand by Hagler, the best punch of that exchange.
I think what Hagler wants to do now is get his rhythm going and really get this guy in a lot of trouble.
Roldan's still on top of him, but his punch is not quite having... Roldan's still scoring with those punches, even though he is essentially a one-eyed fighter. Good shot once more, and Roldan just not able to see the punches coming. Hagler getting the best of it inside now. Roldan's punches have lost their zip.
More than half of that fight with a shut eye, and yet he was there at the end, and a few people thought he even won the fight.
No punching, Greg.
Tito Alba, who was interpreting in Juan Domingo Roldan's corner, even when we are not hearing him, says that he heard conversation in the corner, Ray, from Roldan saying that he can't see, period.
Because since that's the case, I think it was a trauma of that punch, whether it was a thumb, and it had to be a thumb in order to get into the eye, that affected his vision. And again, Barry, Roldan is basically fighting on sheer determination.
And Hagler keeping him in close. Roldan trying to hold. Hagler just getting the best of it here. And Roldan, according to Tito Alba, was saying that he might want to call it quits. He's just leaning on Hagler, which would indicate that perhaps he can't see.
If that statement was made in the corner, I think the best thing to do is to stop the fight. If he can't see, if his vision is blurred, it's a different story.
By being inside and holding on, Roldan, of course, at least knows where Hagler is.
Well, I'm too clean to get into the ring. What Roldan is doing is pretty much a replay of what just poking a left jab out there and sticking with the right hand.
Hagler scoring pretty consistently with the jab, and Roldan, of course, just looking for the one punch that can do some damage, and I'm not sure he's got it anymore. This is going to be one of those fights that you're going to come away from here saying, what if? There's just no other way to look at it.
Marvin should let this guy lay on him. If that's the case with this vision, Marvin should box him. Because what's happened, they started to change punch for punch. And it appears to me that the heavier punch is still being thrown and landed by Roldan. You notice the way that Roldan digs to the body, puts everything behind it.
That was a good right hand by Roldan right there. Roldan showing a lot of heart. Any questions that Larry Merchant posed at the beginning of this show have certainly been answered by Juan Roldan.
Not the glove itself.
Well, I think the fact that the eye is okay, as you heard Tito Alba interpret from the corner, is purely a subjective opinion. I think if you ask Juan Roldan that, you might get a different answer.
Now I'm somewhat impressed now with the composure of Juan Roldan. I mean, he's taking his time. He's starting to box a little more now.
Some of the sting might have gone out, but if what Tito Alba heard that perhaps he wasn't able to see, that might have made an excuse for it. But in the last couple of rounds, he's had a little bit more in his punches. That eye right now is very close to cutting underneath. It's very red. And Hagler scoring with that jab on that eye.
You notice in Roldan's corner, they tried to tell him that he was okay. They attempted rather to say your eye is okay, it's in good shape. I'm sure the fighter, and I can speak for myself, I know fully well that my eye is swollen, and I know I'm in somewhat little trouble. But it doesn't work with me.
Well, Roldan is still pressing the action.
A little Epsom salt would be fine. I see now Roldan's really, at times, he seems very frustrated, and then he comes on strong after he lands a big punch. I'm sure that the right eye of Roldan's is very sore, and to every punch that lands, it's pain.
That was a good right hand by Roldan, but he took two in return for the champion.
There's a punch that grazed the chin of Hagler.
trying to score with the one big punch. That's about all he can do, I guess, at this point.
Hold it.
Eye or no eye?
Yeah, he really is. It's really overworked to say that he's dead game. But in fact, he's dead game. And he's really picking the pace up here. And of course, Hagler just counter punch, keep the jab in there. In fact, in Hagler's corner, you heard him say, don't necessarily go for the knockout every time. Just keep the pace up.
I just noticed something about Roldan a second ago. He was able to get away from some of the punches thrown by Hagler, moving his head from side to side. He looks so stiff, but yet he has very good upper body movement.
He's gone this distance. We saw a graphic a little bit ago that showed you that he has gone from 11 to 15 rounds on 5 different occasions.
I think the reason Marvin will know he's been in a fight because this guy can punch. He's very aggressive, tenacious, and he's in there. He's not giving up.
Excellent shot by Hagler, and it really got Roldan out of there. Roldan, though, right back with a combination that scored. Leaping left hand by Roldan. He looks off balance, but yet it doesn't seem like Marvelous Marvin Hagler has been able to figure him out.
Fascinating point, Barry, to bring out is the fact that guys with those stone chins, rock hard chins, really can't take a body shot. That was a stiff left hand thrown by Hagler.
It's not to take anything away from Marvin Hagler. I mean, Hagler has solved the style of Roldan. He is getting much the best of it. Roldan, a couple of left hands, still got some pop in his punches. Roldan pretty much getting 3 and giving 1 at the bell.
Not trying to do too much, just taking advantage of the situation.
Well, Tito Alba interpreting what is the story of this fight for Juan Roldan. Just don't know how much more I can take, he says. I can't see. It's that simple. And Juan Roldan, incidentally, also between rounds, Tony Perez, the referee, went over to the ring physician and said, I want you in here to examine him after this round and take a good close look. That's a quote.
You have to take notice of what Roldan is doing. He's making it quite difficult for Hagler. And he's not being a stationary target. Roldan delivers the strongest and most powerful right uppercut I've seen thrown by any fighter. You see there, Barry, the way he moved his head.
And that had to be pure instinct because, as you say, he's not seeing him coming. Roldan giving more than he's getting right at the moment.
Again, the head movement of Roldan is making Hagler miss a lot.
Might have had his best punch of the fight, in fact, to the body. There's another right hand by Roldan that gets in. Roldan down very low and then coming up with his punches, doing a really good job of it. And Roldan still making Hagler miss.
You know, I think that Hagler's not utilizing the fact that Roldan is somewhat handicapped. Well, really handicapped totally. He's more apt to stand there and trade punch for punch, giving Roldan much more of an opportunity.
There's a good shot again to the body by Hagler. And Hagler senses that Roldan is hurt, and he might be. I think it's a combination of hurt, tired, and wanting to get out of there.
I mean, he's giving Hagler the fight of his life.
He really is, and that's a one-eyed fighter giving Marvelous Marvin Hagler the fight of his life.
I don't think he wants to fight anymore, Barry, especially by being handicapped in the condition of Roldan.
There was a right hand, and Juan Domingo Roldan goes down. And let's see if he wants to get up.
He was hit on the eye also.
And I think he's saying no more. That's it.
In fact, we see Hagler here with that right jab, and all of a sudden, the left hand comes behind and the right hand follows. It's a series of combinations that was able to send Roldan to the canvas.
Right on the eye, and I don't think there was any question, but I'm surprised, frankly, that he got up at all, to tell you the truth.
Well, the round prior to this, Roldan didn't want to fight anymore. He was completely discouraged, and I think that was a sign that he was through.
The winner by a technical knockout, and still undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Round one. Anytime there's two punches, Jim, there's immediate excitement. And Hagler is not fighting southpaw. Jim, he's fighting orthodox style. Mugabe throws punches from all angles. They're very, very unorthodox.
Left hook from Hagler. Hook, but it usually comes from way outside. If he lands, yes, anything's possible. We might have Hagler in our lap. If he misses, of course, Hagler, the consummate boxer, can counterpunch back. The left hook from Mugabe blocked perfectly by the hand of Marvin Hagler. What does it have to do with this particular matchup against Mugabe?
Well, I think that they really thought they could foul Mugabe up because he's been working against southpaws all along, and all of a sudden he comes out.
An overhand right landed on the dome of Hagler.
Tim, Hagler is feeling those punches, believe me.
Round number 2, scheduled for 12, remember, under the WBC regulations for this bout. There's a left landed by Hagler.
But you know, we always say a left hook is the way to beat a southpaw, and Mugabe's got a vicious left hook.
Solid jab by Hagler scoring. Solid left by Mugabe. Hagler coming in. The slugfest is on.
And Mugabe is not getting the worst of it at the moment.
He is not. He has not backed up a step, and he looks very relaxed.
Looks like a fighter.
Under a minute to go, round 2, scheduled for 12. A left lands from Mugabe, and a right.
Every punch is a bomb.
The right, that time, picked off by Hagler, but he had his own glove knocked into his face.
Then
a rainy, cool day.
To the body, and a good right hand by Mugabe.
A left to the ear of the champion from Mugabe.
And a good right hand to the body.
He knocks most people out. We're into round number 3 now.
It's a good counter punch by Hagler. He's got Mugabe reaching a little bit now, Tim.
Right hand by Mugabe.
He's making Mugabe reach now.
2 solid right jabs by Hagler.
Sliding to the right and jabbing.
He seems to be content to stay in the middle and just kind of pivot with Hagler.
He's allowing Hagler to get 3 shots now, though, Tim. No counter from that right hand miss by Hagler.
Currently in the favor of the champion Hagler, using the jab, moving around a stationary target. Another solid jab, left to the ear behind it. Good combination by Hagler. Piston-like jab, missed with a big left hook.
Then that could have ended it.
Yes, it could have. Solid jab. Mugabe has shown he can take a punch. How many is the question? Round number 4, scheduled for 12.
There's that uppercut. That's that punch I thought he was setting Hagler up for.
Right hand to the ear at the bell for Mugabe. Round 5 scheduled for 12.
There's that quick left hook of Mugabe's.
An interesting progression in the fight for sure. The first round, working from the orthodox, a right-handed side. Mugabe just stands in the middle of the ring, pivots, around as Hagler circles.
But that jab is working overtime, Tim. There it is again.
Final seconds of round 5. Straight left to the nose of Mugabe.
Hagler be able to get that left hand right through there.
Are you saying then that you think that it'll be Hagler's power ultimately, that he'll stop Mugabe before 12?
I've noticed that he's been throwing his left hand very wide. That's about the straightest one he threw.
Well, what Hagler is doing is looping Russ's left hand just a minute ago.
A test of physical strength now, and Hagler's landing a good combination. But he can't move Mugabe back.
My God, Tim, what punishment this Mugabe's taking, and he's still there.
Hagler with target practice now, but he just cannot move Mugabe back. For a low blow again, a right hand lead by Hagler. Keeping the pressure on it, he caught a left counter. Another left counter from Mugabe, and Hagler won't move back. A test of wills, finally. Mugabe driven back to the ropes. The months of preparation, the conditioning, Hagler showing here as he fires one punch after another.
Tim, we talk about a guy with an iron chin. Mugabe has it.
There's an uppercut from Hagler.
Better not punch himself out.
John Mugabe is some tough customer. Takes another shot.
He's hit Hagler with some good shots too, Tim.
Mugabe just gets himself planted in that wide stance and says, move me, try to. Well, Hagler's doing it now.
Hagler seems to be much better off in this fight. Oh, a good straight left by Hagler. And a right hook.
Solid left from Hagler. Combination from the champion. Since round 2, which we scored even.
Tim in Hagler's corner, they told him, you know, don't get wild, just score your points.
Oh, an uppercut lead, that landed. But Mugabe fires back a left.
That's what I'm talking about, Tim, when they say he has nothing left. There was plenty of snap in that jab.
Well-conditioned athlete and 2 championship fighters. These guys are really tuned up. Mugabe says this is the best shape he's ever been in.
Well, Mickey Duff said win or lose. He said Mugabe would come out a much more popular fighter.
He is strong, and there's a solid right hand from Mugabe, and Hagler didn't blink. In your fight against Marvin Hagler, it must be a little frustrating to not see him respond, react. That's what's happening to Mugabe.
Well, again, he's setting Mugabe up with that right jab, Tim.
Quit on us.
Also, Tim, this is only the second. He's never been this far only one time against Hard Rock Green, so he's headed into territory.
That's scored. Combination from Mugabe.
There it is again.
You got to bring something behind that left hook, that right hand. He just can't shoot that right hand.
With their comments are saying, just get back into your rhythm, Marvin.
Mugabe's landing a lot of good punches now, Tim.
Yes, he is. That last
good straight right hand.
Hagler's, you know, at times Hagler falls apart. He gets what he's doing, it seems like.
Big left hook by Hagler.
Wide shots.
You know, Hagler doesn't get the credit for being as good an inside fighter as he is, and he's showing us why right now.
Hagler pressuring Mugabe.
Marvin did not take a backward step.
He's backing up Mugabe finally.
Well, Hagler was concentrating on backing Mugabe up, putting the pressure on. And it seemed like Mugabe is falling apart.
But he still throws bombs.
I think it's just a matter of Mugabe being tired. He's never been to the 11th round ever in his life. He's never taken this kind of punishment at all.
Well, he's really tired now.
Well, that's the key. The key is the punishment. That's why he's tired. And Hagler keeps the heat on.
Just taking him apart with short little punches.
Wings 2 over the top just for good measure, and he's got him hurt. He's got him hurt. Mugabe finally goes down. In the 11th round, he's more dead tired than anything else, and it's all over. He's just exhausted from the continual assault Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Let's go back and look at the knockout blows. That right, 2 rights in a row, and that second one did most of the damage, but you can see just how exhausted he is here. Finally, just caves in.
The winner by a knockout, and still the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.